take a moment to consider the all, or gods, or whatever you prefer. Now imagine it existing with no time, no things, no other, simply in its oneness, simply as unity consciousness, as an unobserved energy, existing as pure love. Now, since there is just one, that is all there is, and nothing else. As a result, the all cannot know itself. So this is the one thing that the all lacks, the experiential understanding of itself. It can only conceptualize its magnificence, not experience it. So the all, as an infinitely powerful being, decides to create a reference point within itself. It creates division within itself, something that could be considered this and that. And so duality is born. Now, both this and that could not exist without the space in which they are held. So this implies that duality is a relative truth and oneness being an absolute truth. So this idea suggests that for the all to experience and know itself, it has to create contrast, it has to create relativity. And so in order to know and experience itself as love, the all chooses to create the opposite of itself, fear. Now, turning our attention to this physical world and this human form that we are currently inhabiting, life seems to be this dance between love and fear on a daily basis. All of my actions, thoughts, experiences, behaviors, feelings, they can all be put into two categories, love-based or fear-based. And this just seems to be part of the human experience and this physical world. And according to this concept, it's all part of the all, or God, experiencing itself. How may we know happiness if we do not know sorrow? How do we know peace if we do not know conflict? And how do we know compassion if we do not know cruelty? It is important to remember that this profound spiritual concept is actually implying that we exist as a byproduct of the division of God. And so therefore we exist as crucial components of God so that it can experience itself through us. So in order to truly know ourselves as God, we may choose to experience ourselves as not God. And perhaps this may offer some kind of insight into why we come into this world with amnesia. We forget who we are, but through our awakening, we begin to remember. Within the Hindu philosophy of Advaita Vedanta, or non-dualism, the initial teaching is to witness thoughts and feelings. And in doing so, what we do is we create this separation between the witness and that which is witnessed. And this really enables us to realize what we are not, so that we can more deeply realize what we are. Now, having said all of this, in this human life, with duality comes suffering. And that was my initial inspiration for this video. I see the enormous suffering in our world. I see the pain in the eyes of my loved ones. I see the dark forces at play in the governments and the media. And I see the darkness in myself. And I find myself making it all wrong. And of course we can make it wrong. But with this God perspective, duality actually gives birth to the world of form. It gives birth to the world of experience. And it gives birth to myself and other. I guess duality is so problematic in this world that we live in because it is believed to be the only reality. Yet, the concept that we speak of today, it actually suggests that both polarities within duality are actually equally dependent on one another for their very existence. And they exist within one entity. When bad things happen, we say that shouldn't happen. But who am I as an ego personality to know the grand plan of my soul and the all? You know, it's easy to paint negativity as bad because it feels bad, because it's not our truth. It's not love. So, of course, it feels bad. But a lot of these so-called bad experiences have been blessings in disguise in my life. They've brought me to my awakening. They've brought me to remember and realize myself more deeply. Just as duality gives the all a chance to experience itself, duality actually brings me as a soul or an ego personality or whatever the opportunity to experience God and the miraculousness of everything. It gives me the chance to experience self-awareness. This experience on this planet is a gift. Human emotion, our innate creativity, the abundance of life, the unbelievable beauty, the variety and the contrast. Something that, according to this theory, God could not have experienced had it not created separate components of itself. So this spiritual concept, what it does is it really reminds me to put an intention in to just fully experience and appreciate the contrast in life, to just fully experience life itself. And how can I do this? Well, being, just simply being. And I'm not saying all being and no doing, because, you know, doing is also a crucial aspect of this duality. You know, we need to do in this physical reality in order to kind of navigate it, but also just being, because in being, that is when we can truly experience life, being in the moment and connecting to the only thing that is actually unfolding at any given time. The past and the future are simply just illusions of the mind, yet we exist so much in the trance of thought that likes to project us into these kind of illusory places, because really all that actually exists is the now. Like, all that exists is what's actually unfolding in front of our eyes right now. And when we live in the dream of the mind, then we don't really experience what is actually happening right now in the moment. So to be present is to really wholeheartedly actually experience whatever life is presenting us with in any given moment. So I really hope this video inspires you. It's such a beautiful concept, and it really helps me to actually just see the darkness in a different light. So I know we've really gone down the rabbit hole with this video. It's been deep, but I love talking about this kind of stuff. Really gets me going. So I want to leave you with this beautiful parable by an author called Neil Donald Walsh, and it's from the book called It's from the first book of Conversations with God. So as always, guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, please like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. There once was a soul who knew itself to be the light. This was a new soul and so anxious for experience. I am the light, it said, I am the light. Yet all the knowing of it and all the saying of it could not substitute for the experience of it. And in the realm from which the soul emerged, there was nothing but light. Every soul was grand, and every soul was magnificent, and every soul shone with the brilliance of God's awesome light. So the little soul was as a candle in the sun. In the midst of the grandest light of which it was part, it could not see itself, nor experience itself as who and what it really is. Now it came to pass that this soul yearned and yearned to know itself. So great was its yearning that God one day said, "Do you know, little one, what you must do to satisfy this yearning of yours?" "Oh, what, God, what? I'll do anything," the little soul said. "You must separate yourself from the rest of us," God answered, "and then you must call upon yourself the darkness." "What is the darkness, O Holy One?" the little soul asked. "That which you are not," God replied, and the soul understood. And so this the soul did, removing itself from the all, going even unto another realm. And in this realm, the soul had the power to call in its experience all sorts of darkness, and this it did. Yet in the midst of all the darkness did it cry out, "Father, Father, why hast thou forsaken me?" God replied, "Even as have you in your blackest times. Yet I have never forsaken you, but stand by you always, ready to remind you of who you really are, ready, always ready to call you home. Therefore be a light unto the darkness, and curse it not, and forget not who you are, but do praise to the creation even as you seek to change it. And know that what you do in the time of your greatest trial can be your greatest triumph. For the experience you create is a statement of who you are and who you want to be."